Hello, welcome back. Thank you, as always, for tuning in here. It's really, really important, and I hope that you realize the importance of what you're doing here. It's of inestimable value, tremendous value. It's so, so important that you do exactly what you're doing right now in taking 20 or so minutes out of your day to connect with yourself, capital S. So thank you for joining me. I mean, how often do we really do this in the span of a day, in the midst of our busy lives? Yeah, it's of tremendous importance. We're going to take a look today at the ways in which we get in our own way, the ways in which we block light, we block awakening, how we do it, why we do it, and importantly, very importantly, what we can do about it, because there's a lot that you can do about it. Now, we like to sometimes in the world play the victim card, saying, no, there's nothing I can do about it. This world just sucks. And well, I'm a victim of it. You are not. We all know people that habitually play the victim in just about every walk of life. Perhaps you're doing that right now. If you are, all you can do is simply be honest with yourself and notice it. You're not the victim of the world you see. Not a single one of us is. Now, the reason for that is this world is not coming at us, but from us. This world is coming from us. So this may be a sobering thought the first two or three times you hear it, or maybe the first two or 300 times you hear it for that matter. Yet there's tremendous power in accepting this. Having made this, we can unmake it. We can choose to set it aside. We could choose to let the light in rather than block it. Everything that the ego tells us that we want tightens us up against the light. It constricts us into a ball of nerves, a hot mess, an anxious, depressed, stressed out mess. It does. It tightens us up against the light. This is the exact language that Jesus uses here in chapter 13, section 7 of the text. So when we listen to the ego, this sense of separation, what we want, what we think we want, only serves to harm us. Getting things just for the sake of getting them and hoarding them, whether we care to see it or not, I invite you to see it. It's a separation idea to acquire possessions and tightly grip them and hang on to them. There's nothing wrong with having them. What harms us is defending them against our brother's attack, which we feel certain is going to come. The ego tells us, have this, go buy this jacket, go buy this new shirt. Your neighbors have it. What's wrong with you? Come on, come on, come on. Go buy this. Go have that. Go acquire that. Compete with this person. Compete with that person. Ooh, you better post something on social media. Your brother just said something nasty to you. Defend yourself. Come on, defend yourself. Now, the ego may use stronger language than that, or in your case, it may be more subtle, and it vacillates between the two. What it can't accomplish through a gentle persuasion on its terms, it tries to get with a club, bludgeoning you. And here in the world, we've listened to it. We've been listening to this voice, so we constrict, we tighten ourselves into a ball and hide from the light. Tired of it? It occurs to me that you could, in fact, answer that question. Are you tired of tightening yourself into a ball and hiding from the light? You could say, no, I'm not. And if that's the case, so be it. Yet somewhere you have answered, yeah, I am. Yes, I am tired of this. I want the peace of God. You don't have to have formulated it in those exact words. The words are just words. You have heard the call of our inner teacher and you have answered. More than once, I'm willing to bet, because you're here paying attention to A Course in Miracles, which is about clarifying our perception so the truth may dawn of itself, so that we may awaken. Because this is most certainly a dream. We're dreaming of separation. As the Course puts it, we're dreaming of exile, but we're safe at home the entire time in God, where we've always been. And that's why enlightenment is known as awakening. It is quite like waking up from a dream here in the world. The images that we see and the things that we taste and touch and smell and feel seem real to us, and sometimes eerily real, sometimes frighteningly real while we're in the dream. But as soon as we wake up, we recognize that none of that ever was. It was a dream. The things we did, we didn't really do. We thought we did them, but we didn't. In fact, it was a dream. Same. This is a dream. Of course, A Course in Miracles is not the only spiritual tradition to actively posit this, so you may have heard this in other places. We have a choice in the present moment to either tighten ourselves up against the light further or to begin to release ourselves. That's a handy visual image, isn't it? You may find that helpful. To begin to release our iron grip on what we deem to be reality, to begin to listen up, in a manner of speaking, one forgiveness act at a time, right? One forgiveness lesson at a time, until we let go of our tension and resistance. And we're open to the light. What we call the process of awakening is an opening, and it is a release. It's a series of forgiveness and release opportunities. When we notice them, we do them. We take advantage of what's right in front of us, which is appearing for us, so that we may awaken. Of course, it may not feel like it in the moment, because you may become enraged or other things. The truth of the matter is anything that is not wholly joyous, completely 100% joyous, is in fact an opportunity for forgiveness. So the more we notice these opportunities for forgiveness, the more we can forgive. We have a choice of which teacher to follow: the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, or the ego. The ego would have us block ourselves off from the light, tighten ourselves up against the light, thinking that we need the latest thing and that we can never awaken. Oh, but we not only can, we also will. It's certain. How can we say this? Well, this is a dream, remember? We've never left our source. We're dreaming, yet we're perfectly at home in God, where we've always been. Ideas leave not their source. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. This is a prominent idea from A Course in Miracles that often comes up here, and for good reason. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. You are the thought of God. Where are you? Exactly. In order to wake up from the dream, we've got to unfurl, if you like that word. We've got to loosen up, let our iron grip on compound phenomena go, one act of forgiveness at a time, one moment at a time. We'll be presented with everything we need in every way when we allow ourselves to be led, when we choose to follow the guidance of the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, and give our entire experience over to Him. He'll guide us. The difference between the Holy Spirit guiding us and the ego guiding us is quite marked. The Holy Spirit will lead us to loosen and let go and forgive and release so that we may welcome the light. And we'll be given, incidentally, everything that we need. When you give your entire experience over to your inner teacher, you are not ceding power and control to an outside force. Remember, inner teacher. The Holy Spirit is part of our mind. It's known as the voice for God, among other things here, many other things, as it turns out here in A Course in Miracles. The Holy Spirit speaks for God, speaks of God, the voice for God, our inner teacher. When we give everything over to Him, we can, and we're invited to relax and trust the Holy Spirit's guidance. We can rest assured that when we have a need here in the world, He'll provide that need. We'll be given what we need. If we need money, we'll have money. For example, when we continue to live our normal lives here in the world, unless you're specifically called by your inner teacher to switch situations. We just keep going, but we don't place such life and death emphasis on things that are transitory. As long as we have the need, the Holy Spirit assures us that He'll continue to meet that. In truth, there is only one need in time, and that is to awaken to ourself, capital S. Yet, while we appear to have many needs, we'll have those met. The difference here between following the ego and the Holy Spirit is that the Holy Spirit will make sure that we don't use these things that appear to us on the path to further tighten up or to re-tighten. So he's not attached to it. When you give everything over to him, he'll make sure that you don't use it to continue to harm yourself. In this case, and unflattering though it may be, we're like small children playing with a sharp knife, a sharp pair of scissors. We need an adult to at least oversee us so we don't continue to slice ourselves. There is no need for us to continue to tighten up or to stay in this rumpled up heap, in this tight ball of stress and anxiety. It's harmful to us. It's not natural. What's natural? The light. Who we are, that's natural. So, what we call the spiritual path is this unfurling, in a manner of speaking, isn't it? It's this opening going from tight fisted to open. So, hopefully, that visual is of help to you. Let's just wrap it up with this. There's no need to tighten up against the light. There's no need to fear the light. It is you. Part of you recognizes this. I know that you recognize it because you're watching this. You're interested in spirituality in the first place, which should tell you everything that you need to know. You have heard the call and you have answered. So for that, I thank you profoundly. That's huge. So along the way, we're all going to have those moments where we question everything, moments where we wonder why we're ever doing this in the first place. We're going to have days like that. Expect that on the path. Questions are bound to arise too, whether you're having one of those days or not. So, to the extent that you do have questions, please feel welcome to leave them here. I'm more than happy to engage in a dialogue with you to answer questions. And by your asking, everyone benefits. There are people watching this all over the world. It is an international community, and your question will benefit not only you, it will benefit others that you may never meet in person. That's one of the beautiful things about this technology that we have access to. So questions, if you've got them, are more than welcome. And even if you would just like to pop in and say hello, I'd love to hear from you too. So please do that. Thank you to all of you who have recently subscribed. There have been a number of you here in the past few days, so welcome. These videos appear several times a week, and if you have not subscribed, incidentally, we'd love to have you join us. Please do that. Please subscribe. The prompt is here in the corner of your screen, so go ahead and click that and join us here, and I will see you all again very soon. Thank you, as always, for tuning in.